Hello viewers. So today I am here with the news, and this news is related to IRCTC Limited. Government of India is planning to sell its stake from the IRCTC via offer for sale. So the news impacted the stock negatively. The stock today fell by 2.39% when this news came into the market. Here you can see that. So most of you probably are wondering, is this positive news or is it negative? So according to me, what I would like to tell you is that this disinvestment, this privatization of PSUs is actually beneficial for the investors as well as the customers. But before I get to my point, let us see the history of disinvestment done by the government, and you can find the detail here on bscpsu.com. It is Disinvestments, a Historical Perspective. That is the name of the article. So the privatization started in India during 1991 and 1992. This was the time when the Indian government moved from socialist form of economy to mixed economy. We started opening our corporate sectors, we started opening our industries for the foreigners as well as local people. And when we look back at the past from today, then we know and we have seen it that it was the best move done by the government. But at that time, when the political scenario was there, then there were oppositions, there were people who condemned selling of these PSUs. And this happens all the time. But the political perspective is different. Right now, what we are seeing is the investor's perspective. We have to see from the eyes of the investor. If there is selling going on in the company, if the stake is sold out by the government, then it means that more people, more private investors or other institutional investors will buy stake in that company. And unlike government, they will try to build up the company more efficiently. Now we all know how the functioning of government is there. We have lots and lots of examples. We have many PSUs which have huge debt, which have low efficiency, which have lots of workforce, but the functioning of the company is not according to the planning. So that kind of problems are reduced when the company gets private, when the promoter holding is sold out by the government and it is given to the private sector. Now here is the list of some of the companies which were disinvestment or in which disinvestment was done. From this list, the major is Hindustan Zinc Limited. Here is the company. So not complete stake was sold, but somewhere here partial stake was sold in some of these companies. All of the 100% stake was sold. Now Hindustan Zinc, ITDC, India Tourism Development Corp, 18 hotel properties were sold. Here we have another example of Tata Communication Limited. Tata is a private company, but of course there was a major stake of government there. So these were the companies in 2001, 2002 and 2003, 2004. In this period they were sold, a major stake of the government was sold. Here we have an aggregate number. It was around 38,500 crore rupees. It was raised by selling of the PSUs. So now when we look at that, we know that it was a beneficial move to the management as well as the investors. You can see here there is Maruti Suzuki India. To prove my point, let us just look at the stock history of those companies from 2004 till present. So Maruti Suzuki share, if you look here, the maximum chart. So this is the period year during the 2004-2003 when the stock was somewhere around only 360 rupees, and now it is around 7,000 rupees per share. So you can see that this investment process was actually beneficial. If you want to see an example of a government company, then we have Hindustan Zinc. Here, if you look at the maximum chart, the sale was done somewhere in the past. We don't have the chart of 2003-2004, but from that point of view, if you look today, then still it turned out to be beneficial. Another example we have, another company we have in that list is ITDC, India Tourism Development, or we can take Indian Petrochemical Corp Limited. So let us take the example of ITDC. Here the disinvestment was done. Okay, so we don't have the chart right now about the past year, but even if you look there, then the benefit of disinvestment was there. Now right now this seems to be something fishy. I do not know why is this there, because the stock seems to be gone up by 1700% in just 1 year. I think this could be about split or bonus, something related to that. So anyway, that is not our major concern. Our major concern right now is that the planning of disinvestment, the privatization of these kind of companies, has turned out to be beneficial to the business and the investors. Now, why or for whom it is negative? So the negative points are for the employees. We know the salary is huge, the incentives are huge when working in a government company, and those who are willing or those who are preparing to work into a government company, to work into PSU, those people may be disappointed, because once the private sector role plays, then the company engages more into profit making. It starts finding out ways to make more and more money. Private company becomes more interested in serving the customer rather than serving employees or the other people. So profit orientation will take more. It will be beneficial for the PSUs. Now what I am saying is from the perspective of the investor only, right? Now another thing, how could it impact IRCTC? Now the other examples which we took, for example, let us take the other PSU. We have, for example, ONGC, right? So Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. The market cap of this company is 1 lakh crore rupees, and here if you look at the borrowing part, then they have huge debt. The debt is almost equal to the market cap, which is 1,16,882 crore. So if somehow right now, if government decides to make this company private, to do disinvestment, then this company can face negative consequences. Why? Because no private player, no private institution would be willing to buy a company with such huge debt. Only government can operate companies with such huge debt, because government has the ability to withstand this kind of loss. But private players are not willing to do so. So will this same situation occur with IRCTC? I say no. According to me, I feel many institutional investors and many private players would be more than willing to buy IRCTC. And what are the reasons for that? The reasons for that is the business itself. IRCTC is an absolute monopoly company. There is no competition at all. And if you look at the figures, then the return on capital employed is great. It is 63%. Return on equity is 44%. So if you forget the current situation, then the past growth of the company is very much impressive. Return on equity greater than 15% is generally considered to be great, but IRCTC is outshining it. ROE is greater than 44%. Now here we have the history of that company from 2015 till 2020. You can see how the net profit has grown exponentially every year. It was 131 crore, then 189, then 230, 221, and now in March 2020 it is 529 crore rupees. So the profit growth in the 5 years is 32.22% compounded. So that is what makes this company exceptional. It is not like the other public sector undertakings. It is not that kind of company which employs huge staff to keep functioning. This company is operating just like private players. It is very much profit oriented and it has a light asset business. Apart from that, it does not employ any borrowing. It does not have any debt. If you look here, then the borrowing is zero from 2015 till the current year. Zero. Any person, anyone with the mindset of long-term investing would be more than willing to invest in this kind of company. You see, there was once an interview where Warren Buffett was asked whether he would invest in IRCTC, and he said yes. He agreed to invest in IRCTC if it was possible for him. But IRCTC for Warren Buffett is a pretty small company. But according to the mood and the fundamentals, Warren agreed to buy the company. Here is the article. Fundamentally, IRCTC is Warren Buffett's buy with a mood stock type, always buy on correction. So this is the kind of company which even Warren Buffett would prefer to buy. So the disinvestment plan is not going to be negative. It would be pretty much successful, and I think the OFS would be oversubscribed. Offer for sale would be oversubscribed, just like we saw in the IPO of this company. IRCTC IPO was oversubscribed for more than I think 20 or 30 times. So that's how the OFS will go. It will be successful. Now, what would be the impact on the stock price? We have seen that there won't be any significant impact on the company. There won't be, right? Because people don't care whether IRCTC belongs to government or Tata or Birla. They want to travel, so they will travel. All they need is better service. And just imagine, our trains are better functioning today than yesterday. So we traveled yesterday even when the system was worst. So imagine if IRCTC and if Indian Railways cooperate and make Indian Railways better, then how the company would perform. So people will travel by train, they will book their tickets on IRCTC website, and also they will order their food, they will eat in the Indian Railways, that is IRCTC's catering services. So there is no fundamental impact on the business of IRCTC. But there is always an impact on the stock price. Now right now, if you look at the stock price of this company, then it is trading around 1342, right? Here is the 5-day chart. It has fell down after the news by 2.96%. So right now, the emotions of the market seem to be negative regarding this news. So if the government, there is generally when there is offer for sale, then the government or the company which is willing to disinvest, they generally appoint some person, advisory firm like Goldman Sachs or any private investment bank, to advise them on the offer route, to guide them on the offer route. And so it will depend on what price the offer for sale is decided. So if the offer for sale is decided 5% to the discount or 10% to the current price, then it could lead to a small stock price fall, because it would definitely be below the current market price. That is for sure. It has always happened like that. But maybe it could lead to some correction into the stock. But the business stays as it was. Whether there is stake of Ambani in this company, or whether there is stake of government, or whether there is stake of retail people, the company will function as it functioned yesterday. And with the joining of private players, with the stake of private players, I feel that company will improve, and it will try to make the services and the functioning of the site and all other services better and better, which would lead to more profits in the future. So this was my take. I forgot to tell you, there is another major reason why government is selling this stake. You see, government right now, the promoter holding in IRCTC right now is 87%. If you look here, in the latest quarter, June 2020, the promoter holding is 87.40. So there is a rule right now by SEBI that no company should have promoter holding greater than 75%. So any company which has promoter holding greater than 75%, they have to sell their stake and trim it to less than 75%. And it has happened with DMart also. If you look at DMart, although DMart is of course a different company, it is not a government company. But what I am saying is that this rule is applicable to all the companies. So here in September 2019, DMart promoter holding was 80.21, and then in the next quarter, in the next year, the promoter holding was trimmed below 75%. So this is the new guideline by SEBI, which is also one of the reason why government is selling stake in IRCTC, and I think it would be trimmed down below 75%. We do not know what exactly it would be, but it would of course be below 75%. So that is another reason. So that's it. This was my take on the IRCTC and its disinvestment, de-investment, whatever it is, the pronunciation. So see you in the next video. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can ask me in those comments. And if you have your own opinion on this topic, then also you can tell me your opinions in the comments. I would be happy to read those. So that's it. Thank you for watching.